choose peace rather than confrontation, except in cases where we cannot proceed, where we cannot move forward. Then, if the only alternative is violence, we will use violence.
Here's a disturbing Black History Month fact. Black midwives used to be at the forefront of the U.S.'s maternity care until a coordinated effort led by men forced them to the margins.
Midwives have been around since the beginning of time. Royalty was delivered by midwives. Even the Bible mentions midwives. In the United States, historically, especially in the South, they really provided this encompassed community role to provide their communities with things that they didn't have.
Tracy Brown is a certified nurse midwife at a Washington, D.C. birthing center serving mostly Black patients.
Black midwives were brought from Africa during the slave trade to the United States and continued that skill. So we birthed our family's babies. We birthed the babies of the people who owned us.
In the late 1800s, midwives attended the majority of U.S. births, and most of those midwives were Black. By the early 1900s, midwives only attended about half of births. Today, only around 8% of births have a midwife present, and there's a reason for that decline.
The Shepard-Towner Act, which was adopted in the 1920s, essentially made midwifery kind of like a federally funded statute. You had white OBs and nurses essentially grading older Black midwives. The work that they did wasn't valued, it wasn't preserved, it wasn't admired. Grand midwives slowly became to be phased out.
The U.S. had the highest maternal and infant mortality rates in the West because of systemic failures in healthcare. And it still does today, and for the very same reasons it did more than a century ago. Tracy says Dr. Joseph DeLee, an American physician who contributed to the field of obstetrics, reinforced the negative narrative around midwives.
Essentially came out with this research that said forceps deliveries were safer, or women being placed under twilight sleep was safer.
White nurses largely took over midwifery and were often in charge of supervising Black midwives. Research shows midwives can improve birth and maternal outcomes, especially for Black women. They are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women.
So it's not that Black women are flawed by genetics, it's racism. They're being treated differently because of the color of their skin. Just being a Black healthcare provider in the United States, that it's something for me to always remember that this is something that is my birthright.
Projects and people.
Candy Lowe has made it her life's purpose to lift up her community.
Tampa may be leading the country and supporting Black businesses.
After a career in nursing, Lowe felt a deep desire to make an even greater impact in her own Tampa neighborhood.
I really did not want to be a nurse, but I continued on because it provided a good income for my daughter and I. And as time went on, that passion, that burning passion of being an entrepreneur just would not leave me.
Drawing inspiration from her family's history of entrepreneurship, she set out to create something extraordinary.
I opened up a tea shop here in the city of Tampa in 2003 and went on from that for 10 years in the city of Candy Lowe Tea Time.
In 2006, Lowe founded the Black Business Bus Tour, a one-of-a-kind initiative designed to spotlight and support Black-owned businesses.
I know the hardship. I know the sitting there and not having the customer numbers that you need. I know what it's like to sit there and have one receipt booked that first year.
Every year, the Black Business Bus Tour travels through the Tampa Bay area, stopping at a wide variety of Black-owned establishments, from boutiques to restaurants. The tour encourages participants to shop local and strengthen the economic fabric of their community.
Sometimes up to 5-6 buses of people wanting to purchase their wares, know where they're located,
the Black Business Bus Tour.
Have no reservations of spending their money with them has been unbelievable.
And Lowe didn't stop there. She also launched Tea and Conversation, a monthly political forum where community members and leaders gather to discuss any issues that matter most.
It has been that connecting space for me to know about politics. I've often said that all things is that.
Her journey from healthcare to entrepreneurship is a testament to the power of vision and action.
I hope that my legacy will be that we continue to lift up the African American businesses, and that they will never be lost. That is a rise.
Candy's work serves as a shining example of how one person's passion can create a lasting change.